Hey, what it do, y'all? It's your boy E2 Blue coming back at you again. And no, it's not Victory Monday, but it's Hangover Monday. Cowboys fall to the New Orleans Saints last night, 10-12, in a matchup that they ain't no business losing. But you win some, you lose some. That's pretty much the narrative. Sometimes it happens. Now I'm gonna talk about some things in this game that happened in the game. I'm not gonna get into trying to make excuses and things of that nature, but I do want to talk about. I do want to say one thing that I read that Sean Payton said to the media or whoever he was talking to that the officiating crew for that officiating crew, whenever they officiated a game that the New Orleans Saints played since 2006, the New Orleans Saints are 12-1. So that's an interesting tidbit to think about. Cowboys lost to a team that didn't score a touchdown. An all field goal game. It goes to show you that our defense did very well. That was the bright spot. Robert Quinn, I think I'm catching a cold, man. It's crazy. This weather is ridiculous, but I apologize for the sniffles. But it is what it is. I'm human. We did have some injuries in the game. Robert Quinn had a good game. He had 2 sacks in the game, and would have been more. All these penalties and stuff. Penalties, Jesus Christ. I'm going to talk about that as well. But the injuries. Let's talk about the injuries. Now, Tyron Smith, he had a high ankle sprain. They already ruled him out for the next game against the Packers. But the good thing is they don't think that he's going to be out a long time. But we'll, like Jason Garrett always says, taking one day at a time. We'll see what happens. DeMarcus Lawrence, if you notice, in the game, in the later half of the game, he didn't play as much. They kind of put him on the pitch count because apparently he tweaked his shoulder. Not the one that was surgically repaired, though. The one that was supposed to be fine. So I hope that this doesn't end up becoming a problem with him, with his other shoulder. But we'll see. We'll just have to monitor that. Kayvon Frazier had a pec injury. I didn't even know that. I don't know if he tore his pectoral muscle, but whatever the situation was, his pec ain't right. So he's probably gonna not play for a little while as well. They don't know if they're gonna have to do surgery on it. That's remaining to be seen. So we'll figure that out as we go along. But overall, the defense played well. The offense just did not do their part as far as the defense got their turnovers. They got them off the field on 3 and outs. We did get a turnover by Xavier Woods. They finally got an interception. Now, again, you can say what you want about the interception, but the interception is an interception. The ball did pop up, and it was right there for him to take. So grab the ball and get it. They always say that turnovers come in bunches, so let's hope that down the line that we'll get even more of them. So, like I said, the bright spot in defense was Robert Quinn. He did his thing. And I think that, with teams double teaming D-Law and some of those other players on the line, you look at, those guys, somebody's going to be open. When you got 2 dominant ends, you can't double team both of them. Somebody's going to be open. Not open, but somebody's going to have one person covering them. So it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, there was one rush that Quinn did that I saw in the game where the offensive lineman didn't even react till after he had passed him. I thought that was hilarious. And that was that second sack on Teddy Bridgewater. Now, the reason why I said that they didn't have no business losing this game, and of course I give all the credit to the Saints defense. Their defense did a good job. Even when the talking heads were talking crap about Marshawn Lattimore, he came in there and he pretty much neutralized our offensive game plan. He stopped Amari Cooper from doing Amari Cooper things. Now, the one thing that I do not agree with is that one pass interference call. Amari Cooper made a play. He was trying to make a play, and he was running his route, and he basically cut back to look for the ball, to come back for the ball. Marshawn Lattimore lost his footing, and he was trying to get back. So they must have thought that Amari Cooper pushed off on him, but his hands were down. If my hands are down to my side, away from you, the only thing that was close to you was his shoulder. So how the hell is a offensive pass interference if his hands were down? So I didn't agree with that. The time clock in the fourth quarter, what the hell was with that? If you guys remember, the Saints got the ball back about 5 minutes and 22 seconds, I believe. And at that point in the game, I was thinking, okay, we get this quick 3 and out because we've been stopping them for the most part because they hadn't scored a touchdown on us. We've been keeping them out of the red zone for the most part. You literally had the time, but I just saw the time clock just kept going. I don't know if it was Alvin Kamara, but it was one of the guys on their offense. Teddy Bridgewater threw a short out. It was like a 5-yard out. Threw it to the side. I don't know if it was Alvin or whoever the player was. They ran out of bounds. The clock did not stop. It just kept going. And I'm sitting there at Mark's house like, what the hell is going on? And I think at that point we didn't have any more timeouts. I think that might have been, I don't know if we still had one left. No, we still had our timeouts at that point, but we were just holding on to them till the clock got below the 2-minute warning. I look up again, and it's a 2-minute warning. I'm like, yo, this clock is accelerated. It just seemed like the seconds were going by fast, and I'm like, 5 minutes went by so fast. We didn't get the ball back to 1 minute 30 seconds, and then by that time, their defense was making plays, and we just couldn't get it rolling. We had that one last-second deep pass to Randall Cobb after Dak Prescott had missed him twice in the game. But again, miscommunication, things happen. We're all human. Everybody has a bad week. Everybody has a bad game. It happens. That's the human element of life. It's crazy because, and I'm going to get into that about Dak Prescott and all the hate that he got and people saying he don't deserve to be the Dallas Cowboys quarterback. That was absurd. But I got to say that yesterday was a real crazy day as far as football because my fantasy was terrible. I mean, I think, it's a bad day for good teams when Tampa Bay drops 55 on the Rams. Jesus Christ. Like, I don't know where that came from. Like, it was just like the lower level teams was ready to ball and the higher teams were just like, they were just on vacation. They was in Cabo, pretty much. And they was like, you know what? It is what it is. We're just going to try to figure something out and go back and start from the drawing board. Now, this loss is a learning experience for the Dallas Cowboys, I think. Because you get on a win streak, sometimes you get a little bit of cocky, and you come into a game and you're thinking that you're going to do this and you do that, and sometimes it has to bring you back to reality, get you refocused. And I think that the Cowboys getting refocused for the Packers next week is going to be huge for them. Now, it's already hard enough playing in that Superdome in New Orleans for a visiting team. So the fact that they held them to not scoring a touchdown is huge. It's huge that they held them to that. So that's just how I feel about that. Now, Dak Prescott, like I said, he missed Randall Cobb on 2 passes. It was one. He rolled out to his left. It looked like it was going to be a good play. He threw the ball too far out wide for Randall Cobb to stretch out and get it. It was that one, and then there was another play that I think it was a route in the middle of the field. He threw the ball to Randall Cobb. It was kind of behind him a little bit. He still could have caught it because he got his hand on it, but it just dropped. But it is what it is. Marshawn Lattimore pretty much, I'm not going to say he put the clamps on Amari Cooper, but he definitely played him better than what Amari probably thought that he could anyway. But Marshawn Lattimore is a good DB. So you look at him, he just wasn't playing well against other teams. And it seemed like he just refocused himself and came back to his true form. Now, I kept telling you guys before the game, when I did my video before the game, that you can't underestimate this defense. And I said that. I said, They weren't playing to their best ability, but that don't mean that they're not going to play well against the Dallas Cowboys. You can't gauge what another team that we're going to be playing in the future, how they do against another team, because they're going to play another team way different than they play the Cowboys. Because everybody's going to play Dallas Cowboys much harder than they play everybody else, because, again, it's a prove it thing. So it is what it is. Now, outside of that the clock issue and some of the miscues of the refs, it is what it is. I put it like this: if the Cowboys were actually doing their job on offense, it would have never got to that situation. You would have never had to worry about a ref messing up a game for you, because it wouldn't be an excuse at that point, because you would win. Because we won every other game for 30 or more points before this. So it is what it is. We just got to do better. Everybody loses in this league. So, and I'm a little disappointed in some of the comments I've been hearing from Dallas Cowboy fans, not just on my channel, but on Twitter and Instagram. And I'm just like, are these Cowboy fans talking like this? Talking about Dak don't deserve to be the quarterback. Oh, I'm glad they didn't pay him yet. I hope they don't pay him. We need another franchise quarterback. Let me ask you a question, those of you that don't like Dak Prescott or think that he doesn't need to be on this team. What kind of Kool-Aid are you sipping on? Are you on drugs? Because who the hell else in this league you gonna get that's available to play better than Dak? One of the most winningest quarterback outside of Tom Brady since 2016. Are you serious? A quarterback that has not had a losing season since he's been in the league. A quarterback that, despite all the odds of having a trash coordinator before with Linehan, still being able to win games and do some things for his team. A guy that has true leadership abilities that you cannot teach. A guy that works hard and tries hard every day and does not throw anybody else under the bus. When something happens with the team, Dak Prescott is always taking the blame for it. That's not a quarterback that you want? I'm sorry. Tom Brady had a bad game. He didn't even make 200 passing yards. And I had him in my fantasy. And it was trash. He had a bad game. Everybody has a bad game. Y'all not trashing Tom Brady? Y'all not trashing Pat Mahomes? These quarterbacks didn't play well. Nobody said nothing about Lamar Miller getting beat by the damn Cleveland Browns. I'm just saying. But y'all talk about Dak Prescott. Is it because he played for the Dallas Cowboys? But either way, he's shown what he can do. Everybody loses games. Nobody wins every game. Even when the Patriots go to the Super Bowl all the time, they still lose games. You can lose to the Jets. You can lose to the Dolphins. You can lose to teams that are not as good. It happens. It's any given freaking Sunday. And I'm embarrassed by that, to see that these are Dallas Cowboy fans talking like that. I thought y'all were better than that. What is going on? Oh yeah, and real quick. So, and I know this wasn't I don't know if it was a subscriber or not, but I know it's probably a troll, and I don't really, it is what it is. But one thing that I'm probably the nicest person you ever meet in your life, but let me tell you something. What I would not put up on my channel is disrespecting any of my subscribers, or in fact me. You coming on here talking about me, that's my biggest pet peeve, is disrespect. If I don't disrespect you, do not disrespect me. And you can dismiss yourself with that, because I don't play that. You know, if you ain't got the balls enough to say it in my face, you damn sure shouldn't be finger clacking online either, because that's some coward stuff. So, anyway, back to what I was saying. Dak Prescott has proven that he's the Dallas Cowboys franchise quarterback, period. Because explain to me, who else would you put in his spot that's available right now? I think even Paxton Lynch finally got picked up by a team as their backup. But you don't want Paxton Lynch. He failed. Definitely not no Christian Hackenberg. And these are guys that came out when Dak did. I'm just saying. What are they doing? Absolutely not a goddamn thing. So to say that he doesn't deserve to be the Cowboys quarterback is asinine. It's absurd. It's plumb ridiculous for you to say that out your mouth. And you look and sound stupid saying it. Now, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but that's just dumb. Because you don't have any valid excuse for it. Why? Because you said he choked? What? Are you serious? Dak Prescott wasn't hardly the only reason why we lost that game. Now, I don't know what's up with the game plan that game, but I feel like it was a little bit more conservative than what we normally, what we've done this season. Like, it's almost like Linehan came back for this game. It's like Jason Garrett must have went in there and said, oh, well, let's go back to running the ball. Let's just run the ball. Let's give the fucking ball to Ezekiel Elliott and shove it down. No! The fact of the matter that Dak Prescott has these weapons right now, right? And he's able to toss the ball around and give it to different players. And you don't have to fully rely on your running game. Why did we not stick to that? Because teams weren't stopping that. Now, again, I understand it with certain teams that we were playing. But even with the Saints, they weren't stopping some of the things that we can do. But we didn't utilize some of the plays that they did on us. Because obviously it works. I mean, they were using Taysom Hill, their third-string quarterback, and they were getting everybody involved. They had Tavon also on the field a couple of plays, but they didn't utilize him. That is supposed to be your gadget type of wide receiver. Why are you not using this guy and doing some things with him? That's my thing. Like, why are you not doing that? But, to each his own. It is what it is. Lesson learned. I think sometimes when you have a loss like that, it helps you to refocus and get back to playing your game. So, and I think that's one thing that we can look forward to going next week with our home game with the Green Bay Packers. Dak got to work on some things. Like I said, he had a bad game, had a couple of miscues. Some of the guys weren't catching the ball. We had some fumbles. Now, Jason Witten fumbled the ball. Ezekiel Elliott, well, they say he fumbled the ball, but I go back and look at the replay. It looked like he had it to me, but whatever. It is what it is. He can't do nothing about it. I think that's the new version of the Dez catch, the Dez no catch. That Ezekiel Elliott fumble, I think. Now, Jason Witten, he ain't known for fumbling the ball, and I think that's the first time I ever seen him ever fumble a ball. Now, it did get peanut punched out. So that's another thing, too. So you guys that when you see guys catch the ball, you're like, why don't you hold on to it? Because somebody knocked the damn ball out their hand. It happens. Some of you fans, when you say stupid comments, put yourself in these NFL players' shoes. If you ever played football before, which I know some of you haven't, and that's fine that you haven't, but when you say certain comments, think about a situation. If you're on the field, could you do that? No. If you can't do that, then shut the hell up. You ain't about to be out there catching no balls. You will probably miss every damn ball. But anyway, that's beside the point. All I'm saying is, and I'm not making an excuse for anybody, I'm just saying, like, if you're catching the ball and somebody blindsides you and punch it out, that was just a good play by the defense. It happens. It happens. You just have to make sure that, when you catch the ball, you make sure you're tight grip on there and keep it going. You know what I mean? But, yesterday was a weird day in the NFL. A lot of teams. You got Tampa Bay dropping 55 on the Rams. Like, whoa. Like, it's craziness. Excuse me. Oh, I'm so sorry. Any given Sunday, any team can be any team. This is the NFL. That's just the way it works. But let me know what you guys think about the game. It is what it is. After today, I'm not going to talk about it no more, because just like with whether we win or lose, Tuesday, you start the next week and you get ready for prepping for your next week's game. So as we look forward to the Packers, we won't have Tyron Smith, but I think that Cam Fleming can hold down the fort, especially with a week of practice and getting acclimated with these guys on this line. So it's a good thing that we have depth, because that depth helps. It definitely helps. So with that being said, y'all, it's your boy E2 Blue, always keeping it real. Talk to y'all soon. Y'all have a great Monday.